Hi guys, hope you and your family are doing well. COVID-19 is a pandemic and the whole world is gone through a bad time financially and mentally. So do not feel low because you're not in this by yourself. We're all in this together and we'll all come out of this together. They say idle mind is the devil's workshop. So this COVID lockdown, try and keep yourself occupied with positive thoughts, watch positive videos, learn new things or read new things and keep yourself occupied because a positive mind will help to a positive body and it will help us all get through this. YouTube is a wealth of knowledge. Watch YouTube and learn new knots, learn new fishing techniques, learn how to maintain your rod and reel so they're going to last you a very long time. We actually covered the reel maintenance part 1. Now as part of this video we're going to cover reel maintenance part 2. So the part 1 needs to be done every single time that you take your fishing reel out, let it be freshwater or salt water. And as part of the part 2 maintenance, this needs to be carried out every third time that you're taking this to salt water and every 10th time that you're taking it to fresh water. And as part of this, we're going to go through of opening up some of the components and greasing and oiling the reel on a regular basis. So I've seen a lot of people taking photos of their catches with their rod and reel resting on the sand. So what it's going to do is you're going to get a lot of sand particles into your reel, and this is actually going to spoil your reel and it's actually going to damage your reel because all the moving components need to be properly greased and oiled and needs to operate smooth. So when you actually have sand particles in it, it's not going to move as smooth as you're expecting. So obviously over time it's going to start making noise, and if you're not washing it and if you're not oiling and greasing it properly, there's going to be a buildup of salt and it's not going to move and it's going to eventually get jammed and stop working. So we'll go through the right way of maintaining the tackle. Like I said, do not put them on sand for taking pictures or on rocks or whatever. That's the main first tip. And once you've done the basic washing, please watch a part 1 video. We've explained on how to actually wash it. So you do not use any pressurized sprays or anything to wash it on a slow running tap. So you just put it under the tap and slowly rotate and try and keep it slow and steady for at least some 30 seconds and keep rotating your reel. And use a brush when it's underwater and slowly clean the line roller area. Once you've done all the washing, what you're going to do is you're actually going to take a towel and wipe your reel. And before washing, like I mentioned in part 1 video, you need to make sure that the drag knob is fully tightened, or what's going to happen is you're actually going to end up pushing the salt and sand inside rather than getting them out. So that's a main thing. Keep the drag knob fully locked. So now once you've washed it and once you wiped it, so how do you oil and reel the parts? So when you're actually fishing on the beach or of the surf, so what happens is you don't see that there are a lot of salt particles and a lot of moisture in the air. So they all come and settle on your reel. Although you think that your reel has not touched the sand, you might still have a lot of salt accumulated and salt particles on your reel. So when you actually look it up after a surf fishing session, so this reel I've just kept for this video. So after a surf fishing session, so you can see I didn't place this on the sand, but with the wind, you won't notice that there will be a lot of minute sand particles which will fly in the air as well. So you see a lot of sand here, and you will see that there's a lot of sand in here as well. So all this has to be cleaned. I haven't washed this reel to show you the sand, but once you wash it properly in running water with a brush, slowly just scrubbing it away, it'll mostly come through. But even if there's something else left, so we'll clean it as part of this video and we'll show you. So to do the basic reel maintenance, the things that you'll need is you'll need some reel oil. So you'll get some reel oil in some of the reel brands, so you can use that. Do not use coconut oil or any cooking oil or any oil which will actually cause damage to the reel, because synthetic oil won't build fungus or mold on your reel. If you end up using any vegetable oil or any plant-based oil, it will actually build fungus over a period of time and it will actually ruin your reel. So use something that's synthetic, and specifically use the ones which are actually made for reels. Do not use any random synthetic oil as well, because it could end up damaging your reels. Because with the oil there is the thing called as viscosity, so these need a different viscosity based on the reel brand. So try and get any branded reel oil to do this cleaning. And if you can't find any reel oil in your area and you're not able to get your hands on, you can get away with using the Singer or any sewing machine oil for the temporary time being, but do not use them on branded reels. If you're using any Chinese reels and things like that, you can get away with that oil. But if you're using any branded reels, try and use branded reel oil and branded reel grease, which are designed for the reels. So you do get different brands, and also you get reel grease spray and reel grease oil, and you will need a small toolkit with a lot of small bits so you can open up your reel. Do not use the wrong size, because you'll end up damaging all the nuts. You'll need a rubber band, you'll need a small toothbrush, and you'll also need a brush with longer bristles to go through the areas where you can't normally with the smaller brush. And you'll also need some kitchen towel. Do not use the normal thin cheap towel, because what it will end up doing, the paper will actually leave residues on your reel. So try and use the kitchen towel, some good quality one. You don't need much of it, just probably a couple of pieces max. So what we'll do first is we'll take the smaller brush. So first I'm going to get the salt which is outside the reel out before opening it up inside. So first I'll just go through all the moving components and just give it a small scrub to push all the sand that's sticking to my reel. As you can see, most of the sand is coming out. But while cleaning this, I'm just showing this way because you can see it on the camera, but try and hold it down and clean it so the way sand comes out. Like I said, I've not kept this on sand. I've just used it in surf on a rod stand. You can still see so much sand accumulated because it was a windy day, and obviously a lot of sand particles. Yes. As you can see, there's a lot of sand. So I'll clean this area. Sand and soil are the reel's worst enemy. So first what I'll do is I'll loosen the drag. So that's a drag knob, your spool, and you notice that there is some sand here as well because part of the reeling in, some sand can get in as well. So I'm gonna clean this as well. All these are the enemies, and with the lockdown, being at home, this is the best time to get these cleaned. Use a longer brush because I'm not able to reach that area well. You can get these brushes in any of the painting or hardware store. you can see, all the sand is off. It looks cleaner. And again, I will clean this area, get all the sand off. So the first thing I'm gonna do, you see that's old grease and it's all dirty. So I'm just gonna get this paper kitchen towel and I'm gonna remove this grease. There's some sand sticking to it as well, so we'll re-grease them again. See the old grease. See all the dirt and grease. Now this is clean. Give it a couple of blows to remove all the sand particles. Now keep this away and go into your spool. Now this, you see all this dirt and sand and old grease, so we're going to remove this all. So just use the paper towel again. This is the cleaner side. And you'll see this is a drag washer clip. So to remove that clip, I'll need a screwdriver and normally these ones will have a little bit of pressure, so when you're opening it up, make sure you hold your hand over the spool and remove the I'm showing you what not to do. So that is just thrown up because I was not covering it up. I was trying to show it on the video. Just give me a second while I pick it up. Okay, so I found the clip that flew off in pressure. Like I said, I was supposed to cover it up and remove it, and the drag washer spring clip just flew off. So be careful with this because it's really hard to get. So again, I'm just going to clean this spring clip. And this is what holds the drag washers all down together. So you have this metal drag washer and you will normally have a lot of felt washers or Carbonex washers underneath. So we're not going to remove that because once you remove and clean it, you need a special grease that you will have to apply for the drag washers. You can open up and do them. Normally if you just give it a couple of taps or just use your screwdriver, you can pull this out from this end. But like I said, I'm not going to remove it because I don't have the drag washer grease. So you see a lot of dirt in this side as well, so I'm going to remove them all as well. You can see how much of old grease and dirt is coming off this wheel. So if you're not using a good kitchen towel, your paper towel will be broken and it will be stuck all inside. So now you can see that it's a little cleaner than how it was. Still some more way to go. I'm just going to use, put on the wrapped the sides to clean the sides as well. Wrap it on a screwdriver and slowly clean all the grooves. Give it a final wipe and put your drag washer spring clip back. Hold it with one finger and push it like I said, or it's gonna come out in pressure. Push it on all sides. It's firmly pushed down. So for this part you can actually put in reel oil or grease. So I'm just going to put a combination of a little bit of oil and a little bit of grease. So you can see how clean it is from before. And on my drag knob, so I'm just going to apply some grease. You can get the ones that you get in tubes also. This one is a spray. So I'm just gonna put this on top and keep this away for the time being. And I'm gonna take my reel and I'm gonna make sure that the shaft is clean. Just wiping it once again. And again, for this you can put either oil or grease. I'm going to put a combination of both. So I'm just going to spray some oil on the shaft. And I'm going to put some grease as well. And slowly rotate this. As you can see, the main shaft will actually go up and down. That's actually to help the line roll on the reel in an even way. So as you roll, you'll see that the oil and grease will actually go inside. Then it will feel much smoother than how it was before. So just keep spinning this for 10 to 15 seconds. Now this part is good to go. So I'm just going to put my spool back on and my drag knob. Yep. So that's that done. Now next we're going to look at the roller bearing. The roller bearing is a very important component of the reel as well, because that's the first point of contact of line from the fishing rod. So what happens in most of the reels is this part actually gets jammed. So if you actually look at this, some of the reels actually internally have a ball bearing. If you look at the latest reels, they normally come with a ball bearing which sits inside the roller guide or some of the old reels, you actually get a bush. You get Teflon bush and different kinds of bushes. So irrespective of what it is, this will get jammed unless you maintain it properly. So as you can see, this one rotates, and it needs to rotate smoothly for you to be able to land a trophy fish. If it's stuck and if it's not going to move, it's going to create more pressure actually on the bail arm, and you can end up breaking the bail arm, or you'll end up losing the fish. So what we're going to do is, as part of part 1 video, I already explained that you need to make sure that you wash it properly and use a brush and give it a bit of a slow scrub using a soft toothbrush to get the maximum salt away. And also once in a while you need to actually open this screw up and get the components out and get them greased. And again, this part you can grease or oil it. The oil will make it more smooth. Grease might be a little bit harder, but it will stay for a longer time. So normally I prefer putting both bit of grease and a tiny bit of oil as well together in this. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to open this part. When you're opening any of the reel components or parts, make sure that they're actually not part of the warranty. For instance, if your reel has got a 1 year or 2 year warranty, if you open any of these, your warranty is not going to be covered. So before opening that up, keep that in mind. So I'll use a screwdriver. Make sure that they've got the right size. Do not use something that's too big or something that's too big or small, because you'll end up breaking the screw. First, see if it fits and it's not too tight. Yep, it's not too tight and not too loose. So I think I've got the correct size here. So I'm gonna slowly open this up. And always you take them and you place them exactly in the order that you've taken it out, or you will end up losing them, or you will not know which order to put them in and you will be stuck. So now we're just opening this up and just removing the line roller assembly. So like I said, put them all in the same order that it came. 1, 2, 3 and 4. As you can see, these are a bit dirty as well, so I'm just gonna get this cleaned as well. Use a new one, or you're gonna end up just dirtying it again. So you throw the old one, get a new kitchen towel, and just first clean these components. And normally I do this every 3 trips, because removing it after every trip is not necessary if you're just washing it in warm water and just putting a couple of drops of oil on top after every use. Put a tissue paper through, just wipe and get all these excess grease and sand off. them all back in the same order. And now before I put it, I notice some more dirt and greasing here, so I'll put some grease in the internals. And before you get it fully tight, spray some oil in here. You've already put some grease in the sides. And both the sides. And now I'll tighten the screw. Now once you've tightened, you need to make sure that you've done it properly and the roller bearing is actually rotating. To do that and to get the oil inside nicely, use a rubber band, spread it wide, and I can see that it's rotating nicely. So keep doing this to make sure that the line rollers are actually rotating nicely and getting the oil spread. Yep, now that's done. And last bit is making sure you oil all your reel components. So you can either use, like I said, the reel oil that you get with your reel, or you can use the oil sprays. So pretty much you need to apply oil on all the moving parts and rotating parts. So I'll apply 1 drop of oil here and rotate. One drop of oil here, one drop of oil here, and give it a couple of rotations so the oil gets in. One drop of oil here. And now you need to apply oil here as well. So just put a drop of oil here. And flip the bail arm a few times. So what it's going to do, it's going to help the oil actually go in to all the parts. As you can see now the oil is gone in. Also put in a couple of drops into the anti-reverse. Flip it few times. Now wipe off the excess oil. Just use a clean cloth or a tissue and just wipe off just the excess oil on top. And make sure your drag is loosened a bit. Like I said, never ever store your reel with the drag tightened fully, because it will damage your drag washers. Just wipe the excess oil, and now you will have to keep this in a closed place. So if you keep it outside, what's going to happen? There's going to be a lot of dust which accumulates on oil as well as all your reels. You can either use a reel bag or just keep it in a box, but make sure it's not airtight. Make sure there's a little bit of opening for some air to go in as well. So you're pretty much done with the reel. So do this every 3 fishing trips in salt water, and if you're just doing it in fresh water, probably once every 10 trips should do for the part 2 maintenance. But the part 1 maintenance has to be done every single time you go into fresh water or salt water. And just going into the rods, rod maintenance is quite easy. Like I explained it earlier, just use the brush. So you just clean all the guides and use a tiny bit of Vaseline on a cloth and just wipe your rod completely through. So that way it's going to be a little bit greased and you're not going to get any rust building up on top. And once you put the Vaseline, the more important part is to keep it in the rod bag. Don't just keep it by itself like the reel, where I mentioned you have to put in the bag. The rod has to be kept in the rod bag. Otherwise what's going to happen, Vaseline, and if you're not going to use it for a month or so, you're going to have a lot of dust build up on it and it's just going to get all nasty. And use very tiny bit of Vaseline, don't use too much, just a couple of drops, and just smear it on the cloth and just go through the full rod and mainly on the guides as well. Hope this tip was useful. So we'll be doing a part 3 video wherein we'll be opening up the reel more, and it's only for people who are actually more advanced. So first start practicing the part 2. Once you get more used to the reel, then we'll start opening up all the components. And for opening up the components and doing the part 3 of servicing, you will need a lot of parts as well required if your reel is not functioning as much. But if you follow a part 1 and part 2, your reel is actually going to last you a very long time, and hopefully you will not need the part 3 of the video that we are going to do. Have fun guys, tight lines, stay safe. Thank you.